welcome to church with you. We are excited that you are here. My name is Kevin. You guys can stand and sing with us. As I reflect upon perspective, they're in the best and worst days of this life. You were always on my side. You're in the pain, you're in the promise, and on the days the furnace finds my way, you're the fourth within the flame. Sing this out! I don't need to know what the future says, 'cause if the past could talk, it would tell me this: my God isn't finished yet. If he did it before, he can do it again. So I'll trust him with what comes next. 'Cause my God I know is known for faithfulness. Yeah, my hindsight says I can trust him with what's next. For the God I know is known for faithfulness.
What's up, church with you? I am doing it solo because I had a friend of mine, you may have known him as Anthony. He decided to bail out on me for whatever reason. But anyway, I still love you, I'm still loyal to you, and I am so happy to be before you today because, you know, we got it like that. First things first, baptism, 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 baptism is going down today. Both services, both campuses, after each service. Guys, baptism is going down. Oh, you're not ready? Do not worry about it. We got a Dollar General right over there, and we will go and buy you some clothes. We'll have towels, and we've already got you a shirt. So pretty much you just need some bottoms. There we go. No, I'm just joking.
You ready?
Second thing is crew night. Crew night is going to be going down Wednesday.
First Wednesday.
The first Wednesday, which is not this month, obviously. It would be the first Wednesday of August, and that would be at 6.
Probably 30. Hold on.
The third thing is child baby dedication or baby child dedication. Anyway, child baby dedication, baby child dedication is going on August 2nd. August 2nd is child baby dedication, baby child dedication. So if that's going to be something that you want to participate like me, woo woo, you'll need to see some of the staff and we can make sure we get you signed up to participate in that. Guys,
online.
Oh yeah.
On the app.
Guys, you don't have to see the staff because we're like we're not anti-social. We're just simply social distancing, wearing masks. No, but yeah, you can do it online or through the Church With You app. So that's that. I love you guys so much. Thank you guys for tuning in and have an incredible week. Bye.
You guys stand and sing one more with us.
Jesus,
What's up, church?
What's up,
How y'all
Church
doing today?
Online? Man, we are so glad that you're here with us this morning. Thank you so much. My name is Stefan, and I am honored and privileged to be on the crew here at Church with You Online, and I am so glad that you're here with me this morning. Guys, if you are watching us on YouTube or Facebook, I just want to ask you to jump onto live.churchwithyou.com and check out our new Church Online platform. This is where we can really get connected and create that community we all want to have, okay? There's two reasons we want you to do this. For one, community. Secondly, because it's awesome. It is so awesome. We can jump on the Bible app right from the platform. You can connect with our hosts and chat. You can jump into live prayer. It is an awesome place for you to get connected at Church with You, and that's what we want you to do. We don't want this to just be a message you watch. We want this to be a community that we're building. Okay, if it is your first time with us, we want you to fill out an online connect card, okay? You can fill out that online connect card by clicking on connection card at the top of your screen or on the continue button in your live chat. Or you can text
Come on, guys.
guests to the number at the bottom of your screen. Now, I know what it feels like to put your personal information online, okay? It can be scary, but here's what I can tell you. Our Connect cards come with a hassle-free guarantee. That means we are not selling your information. We are not spamming your email. We are not calling you all the time, and we most definitely will not show up at your house because that is weird, guys. That's weird, and we don't do it, okay? So the Connect card comes with a hassle-free guarantee. We just simply want to go ahead and write you a letter at the beginning of next week saying thank you for being here and to get you connected here at Church with You Online. Now, I'm going to go ahead and get into our time of giving, okay? So here at Church with You, your generosity makes a difference globally at this point, okay? Church Online is an amazing thing with a huge reach, and you're a part of it. And we want you to just lean into this thing and be a part of life change, okay? So here's what we would ask. If this is your first time with us, you do not have to give, okay? We don't want you to give today. Your presence with us this morning online is a gift enough. But if you call Church with You Online home, this is your time to shine, okay? This is your time to give and make a difference across the globe. So here's how we do that. You can click on the give button in your live chat or at the top of your screen, or you can text give CWU to the number at the bottom of your screen. Guys, your generosity, your generous hearts are what makes this church happen. And we can reach the world at this point. So be a world changer. You guys are incredible, incredible. All right, let's go ahead and join Pastor Eric for part 2 of
Walls right there. We've got text to give.
Outlasters.
That way, go online, and you can give that way as well. So we thank you so much for that. We started last week with a series of Outlasters. So we'll make sure we got that right. Outlasters. So sit back and enjoy the second week 2 of Outlasters. What is up, everybody? How y'all doing? You look good, you look good, you look good. And there's people in the house, like I'm talking like, man. Hey, welcome to Church with You. My name's Eric, and like my pastor dad said a while ago during the host moment at our Enterprise location, he said that almost 6 years ago, we started Church with You, everybody. Come on, almost 6 years ago. September will be 6 years. Man, I'm telling you, it's been incredible. And man, me and Cheyenne, my wife, when us and a team of people got together and we threw out this whole idea, hey, let's start a church for people who don't go to church. It didn't make much sense then, but how many of you know now it makes a ton of sense?
It makes a ton of sense. When you see the life change happening, man, it takes a ton of sense. It makes a ton of it. So welcome to Church With You. Here's the cool thing is now, almost 6 years later, we are now one church meeting in 3 locations. 3. You heard that right. You heard it right. I don't know if this is the official announcement or what of our 3rd location. I don't know. It probably happened sometime during the COVID quarantine. But everybody, we have Enterprise, we have Ozark, and we have Church Online, everybody. And that's like its own community, man. It's incredible. So right now, come on, Enterprise, you got to do better than that. Let's welcome Ozark and Online right now. We love you guys. Love you guys. Man, I'm telling you, it's I would have thought, I'd be lying to you if I said I would have never thought that we would be here, but I didn't think we would be here as fast as we are. Let me just put it to you like that. We always had a vision. We always had a dream of reaching a ton of people and starting campuses everywhere, and now you're reaching people all over the place. And man, I'm just grateful for you. A couple of reasons why is because Cheyenne and I and our kiddos just got off of a 2.5-week sabbatical, everybody. And I know if you're not a church person, you're going, what's a sabbatical? I don't really know either, other than they told me to go away and disconnect from the church and don't have anything to do with it. And my counselor actually told me that. And he said, hey, I want you to take a month off. He told me this last year. I want you to take a month off in 2020. And it wasn't like a bad thing. It wasn't because something bad was happening. It was precautionary. How many of you know it wasn't like you're burned out and now you need a month to recoup? No, it was you take a month so that you don't burn out kind of a deal. And I'm grateful for that. So I took that. I ran it back to our overseers, ran it back to our leadership team. They were on board with it. And, man, let me just be just super transparent. I'm super grateful for our overseers right now. They're probably not going to watch this, but come on, show them some love. Man, we love you guys. I'm grateful to have people in my life that not only that I report to as far as like morally and church-wise and all that, but like health, like physical health, emotional health. Man, I report back to them. They heard that. They said, just get it and go. And then what I heard when I came back is that our team crushed it. Our staff and our team and our U crew crushed it. So come on, can you put your hands together for those guys? Man, we love you. Both locations, Church Online, man, you are incredible, incredible church to get to pastor. And I'm super grateful to be back. I got some energy. I just want y'all to know that. So it says I have 28 minutes and 12 seconds back there, but I just don't know. I just don't know. Everybody, I don't know. First week back, I'm kind of getting it. And you probably heard something that didn't make sense a while ago when I told you that the counselor said that we should take a month sabbatical, and I told you that we just got back from a 2.5-week sabbatical. Everybody say thanks, COVID. So here we had a legit trip planned. Like we were going to RV across the country. It was going to be awesome. We had a campsite reservation at the Grand Tetons. We were going to explore Yellowstone. We had a campsite reservation in Brookings, Oregon. I don't know if you've ever been there, but I have never been there either, but it's incredible. Like the RV park, you back up your camper, and it's a cliff, and the ocean is coming over these gigantic rocks. Come on, somebody, and I missed it all. So COVID happened, and we had a change of plans and all that stuff, so we just took a state park tour around the state of Arkansas. So you're thinking the same thing that I thought. And what I learned on the trip was this right here. Is this what I want you to get out of today? Is it's impossible to be grateful for something that you feel entitled to. And let me just full transparency. Entitlement took hold of my heart. And it wasn't like from the whole, yeah, that's right, I deserved a sabbatical. That's right, they better give me. It wasn't that kind of entitlement. It was the entitlement of, we've been planning this trip for like months. And we should be able to take this trip, should we not? Come on, y'all got to back me up. Come on, help me out a little bit. We should be able to take the trip. And now all this stuff screwed it up, and now I feel like I'm entitled to that trip, and I became ungrateful for the actual trip. Are you following me? Come on, don't act like this doesn't happen in your life. It does happen in your life, doesn't it? Come on, no. Yeah, sure it does. Whatever you're saying, I'm just going to repeat. No, it happens in your life too. I'm not the only one who feels entitled to stuff. Can we just go ahead and say right now, I think we live in a generation that feels entitled to stuff. And if you would have backed up another generation, they would have said the same thing about you. And then you back up another generation, then they would have said the same thing about you. It's like every generation gets more and more entitled. And that's okay, that's fine. But at some point, we got to figure out how to battle our way out of it. And that's what we're going to talk about today. Is we're going to talk about this whole entitlement attitude. And it's impossible for you to be grateful for something you feel entitled to. And I felt entitled to the cross-country trip. And I became less grateful for the Arkansas State Park trip. But I learned it on the front end of the trip so that I could enjoy the back end of the trip. Are you following me? Like I learned this on the front end. And I know that you're still sitting there and you're going, I just don't think I don't really feel entitled. You know, I mean, they do. She does. You should see that with those social media posts. They do, for sure. But me? No. Come on, how many of you feel like that sometimes? Like, the problem exists, but the problem never exists in you. It exists in somebody else. So this morning, I want us to take an entitlement quiz. It's going to get everybody on the same page. We're going to realize, I think, that you and I both feel super entitled the majority of the time. Right? And this isn't to shame you or bash you. We're going to get over this. Come on, somebody. We're going to move past it. But at first, before you move past something, you got to first understand that you struggle with it. Right? So let's get after it. You ready? Here's the first question. Is you're almost in that really good parking spot until somebody cuts you off and takes it. How done are you? You ready? Here's the answers. A, done. B, so done. Or C, God forgive me for flipping them off. Come on, which one are you laying in? Should we do this in church? I'm doing it. How many of you are A? How many of you are B? How many of you are C? Come on, all the jacked up people at church. I'm grateful you're here. That's awesome. Some of y'all didn't play along, so I got another question. Is you're working hard for promotion only for a coworker to get it instead, your reaction is, I'm overqualified. I'm overqualified for this. I didn't need that anyway. I'm way overqualified for that. Who did they suck up to? Oh, this is my favorite. I quit. I just quit. You know what? There's thousands of other ones out there, too. I'll just go get it. It's fine. You don't pass me over. I'm not going to ask you that one because your employer may be sitting in here. I just don't want to start something and then leads to something else. How many of you know we're entitled? We are entitled people. Like we struggle with entitlement. But how many of you are grateful that we aren't the first people that struggle with entitlement? See, I think it's a bad thing if you're the first person. I've never been a beta tester. Y'all beta testers? Like I've never been a beta tester. Apple comes out with a new iPhone. I don't get it. You know why? Because there's always a bug. Got to be an Auburn fan who said that. Oh, for those of you at Church Online and Ozark, if you didn't hear that, it says because it's Apple. It's an Apple product. Apple product makes a good product. That's why they come out with a little, hey, install the next edition. We fixed all the bugs. Android don't do that for you. Anyway, don't get me on my soapbox. Right, but I'm not a beta tester. I don't just I'm not the first person to go cliff jumping. Even though I made a 17 on my ACT, I ain't that dumb. I'm going to watch somebody else jump off first. I'm going to see where they land. And if they make it back alive and without broken bones, I'm going to jump. Are you following me? I'm just grateful that other people have been entitled, that Jesus has done something in their life, and he moved them past that So now when I feel entitled about my trip, man, we should have went across the country. I'm sick and tired of this COVID mess. Like, I'm done. I'm done. I'm so done. I'm done. I'm done. Like, it doesn't matter. Like, I'm done. I was so entitled that I became ungrateful for the trip that I actually got to take. And I'm grateful that Jesus can work that entitlement out of me so that my gratitude can come back. Are you following me? So he tells a story. He tells a parable. It's how Jesus told a story. This isn't an actual thing that happened, but Jesus said, hey, listen, I want to tell you a story. And this is how the story starts. Matthew 20, verse 1, it says this. For the kingdom of heaven is like. How many of you know you need to pay attention? I mean, if you want to go there, you should pay attention. I'm aware of the church that we started, and I'm aware that there are probably people at Enterprise and Ozark and Church Online that you have yet to say yes to a relationship with Jesus yet. You just like coming. Like, I don't know why. Maybe you like somebody that's here. I don't understand. Like, I'm just grateful you're here. Believe what you want to right now. It's fine. You're welcome here. But all our cards on the table, we want you to say yes to a relationship with Jesus. That's the goal of why we do what we do. Right? That's our goal. But when the Bible says, and specifically when Jesus says, the kingdom of heaven is like, I think we should pay attention. Because out of all of us, he's the only one that's been there. So he kind of knows. So for the kingdom of heaven is like a landowner who went out early in the morning to hire workers for his vineyard. He agreed to pay them a denarius for their day and sent them into the vineyard. His first group of workers. About 9 in the morning, right? The first group of workers got hired at 6 because their work day was a 12-hour day, 6 a.m., 6 p.m. That's kind of how it worked. Right? If it's daylight, we're working. Right? That's not how we work. How many of you are grateful? Come on, some of y'all do work 12-hour shifts, and you're like, I'm still doing that. It's awful. About 9 in the morning, he went out and saw others standing in the marketplace. And he told them, hey, you also go work in my vineyard. And I will pay you whatever is right. Don't miss that. Because the first group of people, right, they settled on a number. And the Bible says they settled on a denarius. I don't really know what that means. You don't know what that means. So let's just say it's $100 for a day. Okay? $100. So they got $100. Second group of people is going to get what is right. Then he went out again about noon and about 3 in the afternoon and did the same thing. And about 5. Well, this is what gets me. This part of the story is what there's an hour left in the workday. Couldn't you just make do with the people you had? I'm just throwing that out there. But you know what this shows me about the landowner is that he's super generous already. Yeah, there's an hour left, but there's still people standing out there. There's still people that don't have jobs. There's still people who don't have work to do, and I need some help. I got to get some stuff done, so I'm going to hire them too. Even if it's an hour that they're working, I'm still going to hire them. And he hired them at 5. Found them still standing there. Why have you been standing here doing nothing all day long? Because no one's hired us, they answered. And he said to them, you also go work in my vineyard. When the evening came, the owner of the vineyard said to his foreman, call the workers and pay them their wages. This is where it gets a little weird. Beginning with the last ones. Let's just play this out in today's culture. Because I'm pretty sure it wasn't much different in theirs. All right, so you get hired to do some work. You get hired at 6 o'clock in the morning and you work till 6 o'clock at night. You're the last ones to get paid. Okay? I'm fine with that. Not a problem. That person got hired at 5. I'm already a little bit ticked because they're taking a piece of what's mine. Are you following me? The landowners only got so much money. Right? In my head, that's what I'm thinking. The landowners only got so much money, and if they hire more workers, then it's going to cut into my pay. So I'm sitting at the back of the line wondering if I'm still going to get my denarius. Because that's what we agreed to, is it not? That's what we agreed to. So I'm going to hold him to it. And then you got the other workers that have been hired in front of him. And you do this at Walmart. You do this at the 15 items or less line. You got 16 items. But you looking at the person in front of you. What you got in that buggy? How much you got up there? This is going to take forever. You got 17 things. Don't you know 17 things could have went over there? There's a self-checkout. You can do your own thing. Right? You do that, don't you? You're always looking at the person in front of you. Now, when it comes to pay, how many of you always want to look at the people in front of you? So what you make? You do the same thing I do, you just do it for a different company. What they pay you? I mean, I'm just curious. Because if there's a job opening, I might apply for it. Are you following? That's just kind of who we are. So I can imagine you got a line of people with the foreman out there getting ready to pay these guys that have been working in his fields. And the first one that was hired last goes to the front. He don't know what he's getting because they didn't set on a number. But you got the next guy in line doing this number. And then the foreman gives that guy a denarius. He got $100 for working an hour. I'm going to get more than that because I work more hours than he did. This is going to be awesome. And then the next guys get in line and they get $100. And then it just trickles all the way to the back of the line. Now these guys who were hired at 6 o'clock in the morning, can you imagine what they're thinking? Now they're frustrated. Now they're frustrated. Look at what it says. Going to the next verse. It says, the workers who were hired about 5 in the afternoon came, they received a denarius. So when they came to hired first, they expected to receive what? What's the word that we're using today for this? Entitlement. I was hired first, so now I expect to be paid more, even though we settled for a denarius at 6 o'clock this morning. And I think if you'd have put a blindfold on these guys, they wouldn't have had an issue with it. I'm going to be careful what I say right here because you're going to take it out of context or somebody's going to splice the video and they're going to put it up and then it's going to be... I think if we would blindfold ourselves to some things, we'd be a little less entitled. If we'd stop looking at everything that's in front of us and everybody else that's in front of us, I think the entitlement in our heart would start to leave. But they weren't blindfolded, and you're not either. So how do you get past it? How do you walk past this? I expect more because they were hired at 5 o'clock in the afternoon. They got a denarius. I've been working 12 hours. I should get more. Even though we had already said yes to a denarius. Even though. You follow me? Then it goes on. It says, but each of them also received a denarius. And when they received it, they began to, everybody say this word out loud, grumble. Which is the same word as gripe. Right? You follow me? They both start with G, so let's just use whichever one you want. Let me just go ahead and tell you, when you lose gratitude, you start to gripe. When there is a lack of gratitude, there is an abundance of griping. You want to know how you can tell if you are entitled about a situation? Are you griping about it? Because if you are, then you've lost gratitude and you know that entitlement has taken over and now griping or grumbling is the constant thing in your life. That's where these guys were. They grumbled. And we should get more. We should get more than that. And then it goes on, it says this. It says, those who were hired last worked only 1 hour, they said. And you've made them equal to us who have borne the burden of the work and the heat of the day. How many of you think they have a valid point? I was just testing your entitlement level. It goes on, it says, but he answered them. And he says, I'm not being unfair. And I want to zone in on this word for a minute. Because I think a lot of us live our lives thinking that God has somehow, some way been unfair to us. I think we live that way. And I'm not saying that you don't have the right to feel that way. Because maybe you prayed for a child, and that child didn't make it. Maybe you prayed for a close relative, and God didn't answer your prayer in the way that you thought He would. See, every single one of us has been in a spot where we're looking at God going, you're a little bit unfair. You're unfair. Come on, don't put your halos on and act like you got everything together in church today. Come on, you've been in your life where you've said to God, that's not fair. It's not fair. And some of you have valid arguments. Same way these have valid arguments. They work 1 hour a day. 1 hour. I've borne the heat of the day all day long. And you're going to pay me the same thing you paid? That's unfair. Just keep that in your mind for just a second. He says, I'm not being unfair to you, friend. Didn't you agree to work for a denarius? And that's why I love. Take your money and go. Just take your money and go. Didn't you agree to work for a denarius? Let's travel back in the story. Let's put yourself as one of these guys that are working in the field. Yesterday, you went out and you stood in the marketplace waiting for somebody to hire you. You stood there all day long, 12 hours, and nobody said anything about giving you work. You went back to your family, and you told them, hey, I didn't get any work today. So I don't have any money. I can't get us any food, and I know this has happened 3 days in a row, and I know you're starving. But I'm going to keep working. I'm going to go back out there again tomorrow. So you go out there tomorrow, which let's pretend it's today. And now you're picked to work. And I'm not talking like pick last on the dodgeball team. That's not the kind of picking I'm talking. I'm talking you were picked at 6 o'clock in the morning. Like you didn't even have to fret during the day of whether or not you were going to get picked up or not. You got a job first thing in the morning. And how many of you would think at that point you get, hey, I need a laborer. I'm here. Yeah, you. Come on. Sweet. How many of you believe he could do that? How many of you that would be your attitude? You'd have an attitude of gratitude. Come on, parents. You better get you an attitude of gratitude. I love how we say that. We say that with such gratitude. Get you an attitude of gratitude. But he had an attitude of gratitude. Couldn't you see it? He was walking. He was going, I can't wait to get home to tell my wife. I can't wait to go to the market on the way home to pick up some Cheerios and some milk. I cannot wait to get back and show them that their dad provided. I'm ready. Let's go to work. And he works all day long. But something happens in his heart in 12 hours. I just want you to realize this. In 12 hours, he went from gratitude to entitlement. How fast can it switch in our hearts from gratitude to entitlement? How fast can it switch? Because I want to bring you back to the portion where the landowner said, I'm not being unfair to you. I'm not being unfair to you. Because let me just go ahead and tell you, you don't want God to be fair. You just don't. Because the Bible says that God can't be in the presence of sin. Well, newsflash, that's us. like we are that. we all jacked up. Some of y'all sin coming to church this morning. You were driving in, yelling something that you shouldn't yell at your family because they didn't get up in time to get dressed, and now you're running late. Come on, don't act like you don't do that sometimes. Don't act like that person that pulled over in front of you and cut you off in traffic didn't get under your skin. Come on, I got to watch out, everybody. I got to watch out. I was on our trip. We were, I want to tell on myself, and that's okay. So we were pulling the camper, and we pulled up into a Walmart. And most people who pull campers pull like all the way to the side and walk. Well, Cheyenne was getting out, and I didn't want her to have to walk. Like, I just wanted her to walk one time, and that was to the truck. I figured I'd pull right up to the front and drop her off. Follow me? I'm a great husband. So we're in the truck, and I pull all the way up to the front, and Cheyenne gets out and starts to walk around. And there's this guy pushing a buggy, kind of right in front of the truck. Like, I stopped to let him go in front. Are you following me? Like, I didn't pull on up to the right door. I stopped to let him go in front. So I'm already being generous. And then all I see, the doors are closed, the windows are up, I can't hear anything. And all I see, Cheyenne's walking right here, and all I see is this dude lean over and say something to my wife. Now, just like proper etiquette here, if you don't know somebody, just don't say anything to them that looks like you're saying it in a degrading way. How about that? Because it looked to me, and I almost rolled my window down on the passenger side and said, "What'd you say to her?" But I've kind of learned that my first instinct probably isn't always my best. So I didn't. I pulled up. I rolled my driver's side window down. I said, "What'd he say to you?" And he just asked her, he was like, "Hey, do you have a mask?" And I poured it all out of context and all that stuff like that. But my entitlement attitude got the best of me in that moment. Is because you don't do that to my wife. How dare you talk to my wife? Now all of you are thinking, "Oh my gosh, how many times have I talked to Cheyenne?" Like, what's... Are you following me? Like, you know what I deserved in that moment? A DiNozzo. Okay, nobody watches NCIS. Do you remember DiNozzo, the character? Every time he did something stupid, like Gibbs would just go whap on the back of his head. Come on, that's what I needed in that moment. That's what I needed. But you know what I didn't get in that moment? Was a slap on the back of my head. I did kind of feel a little something in my gut. I'm like, calm yourself down, bro. Calm down. Can I tell you, God's never been unfair to you. And he's never been unfair to me, no matter what you and I think about it. Because fair would have been Romans 3:23, for all have sinned and fallen short of the glory of God. Romans 6:23, for the wages of sin is death. Fair would be death. If you want fair, then don't come to Jesus. If you want fair, go to another religion. If you want fair, go to another lower G God. Because they'll give you fair. Jesus won't give you fair. And I'm grateful. Because I'm not entitled to wake up every morning and breathe. I'm not entitled to, when I move my legs over to the side of my bed and they hit the floor, they work when I stand up. I'm not entitled to drive down the road and be able to see where I'm going. I'm not entitled to think that my life should last forever. I'm not entitled to think that my wife should do everything I want to do. I'm not entitled to think that my employer owes me something. I'm not entitled. Because you know what I deserve? None of it. And I just think if we as a society, if we as a church, if we as individuals, if we as a family can stop our entitlement mindset, which is killing our gratitude. If we can stop entitlement and empower gratitude so that when we wake up in the morning, we can say, God, thank you for another day. Like, I long to be with you. I want to be with you, but you're not done with me yet. So thank you for giving me the life that I have right now. How about instead of griping because I couldn't go all the way across the country, how about I just say, God, I'm grateful for the church that you've let me be the pastor of, and you've surrounded me with overseers who look in my life and just go, hey, you need a couple weeks anyway. You know how much better you'll enjoy the trip? Now let me spin it around. You know how much better you'll enjoy the trip called life? If your gratitude would outweigh your entitlement. Because you're not entitled to anything. But you wake up every single day that you wake up with breath in your lungs, with energy in your spirit, and with access to a God who died for you. He paid your penalty. You want to talk about unfair? That was unfair. That he took what you and I deserved. The Bible said he became sin. He didn't just carry it. He became sin. And he went to the cross. And he died for you. And he died for me. So with every head bowed, every eye closed, I'm going to call up our campus hosts and pastors. Call a team up. They're going to get ready in just a minute, and they're going to walk you through a decision that you can make today. This is whether you're in our physical locations or if you're at church online. Because what you deserved was death. What you have been given is life. And that, to me, wipes out entitlement. So every time that you feel entitled to something, can I just bring you back to gratitude of what God has already given you, how he's already shown up, how he's already worked in your life, how he's already paved a way for you not to have to pay the ultimate penalty, which is death. Death meaning separation from God for eternity. You'll die here. But how many of you know, man, we're grateful that I'm going to live forever. I'm going to live forever in the presence of a Jesus, of a God who loves me, of a God who gave his life for me, of a God who was unfair to me. And I am grateful for the unfairness. And if you're here at Enterprise or Ozark or Church Online, can I just tell you, if you have yet to say yes to a relationship with Jesus, then the risk that you're taking walking out of here is that at some point you'll get what is fair, which is you're a sinner. And if you don't say yes to Jesus, you'll die and spend eternity separated from him. That's what's fair. You'll get it. If you want what's fair, you can have it. But Jesus came to give you something that's not fair. And he came to let you know and remind you that he became your sin. I don't care what you did. He doesn't care what you did. He became your sin. And he gave you brand new life. So I'm going to turn it back over to our campus hosts, and they're going to walk you through. If you want to make that decision, they're going to walk you through that. And I'm going to walk Enterprise and online through it right now. If you're here and you've never said yes to a relationship with Jesus, I want to give you that opportunity, and I want you to take it. We're not going to call you out. We're not going to make you come forward. This isn't to point you out. Right now, this is from your heart to God. It's right here in this moment. It's right where you are. If you've never said yes to Jesus, can I just get you to do a couple of things for me? Number one, every head bowed, every eye closed still. Can I just get you to lift your hand and just show me, man, I haven't, but I'm ready today. If you haven't, but you're ready today, can you just lift your hand in front of me? I'm not calling you for it. If that's you, I want to lead you in this prayer. Nothing special about the prayer. What's special is how you mean it from your heart to God. It's right where you are. So underneath your breath in your seat, in front of the TV, in front of your phone, in front of the computer, just say, Jesus, I need you. Come into my life. Forgive me. I don't want what's fair. And thank you for giving me something that's unfair. Thank you for taking my place. Thank you for dying in my place. Thank you for giving me brand new life. Can I tell you, the Bible says if you confess with your mouth and believe in your heart that Jesus is who he says he is and God raised him from the dead, the scripture says that you will be saved. You will be saved. You will be saved. So if that's you, I just want you to, everybody with their heads bowed, every eye closed. If that's you, if you made that decision, I just want you to look up. There's a number on the screen. All I want you to do is text it. Text Jesus to the number that's on the screen. When you do, you'll get a response back, and they'll walk you through how to say yes to a relationship with Jesus, and they'll walk you through what it means to live this new life that Jesus came to give you. And we pray for us. Father, we love you, and we thank you so much. And we thank you for who you are. We thank you for your presence. And we thank you that you are working out of our heart this entitlement mindset. God, that you are putting into our spirit a heart of gratitude. That we can wake up every single morning knowing that everything we have been given, everything that we have, every breath in our lungs, every vision that we have, that we can see, God, everything that we have, God, it comes from you and we're grateful. And we thank you for who you are. We thank you for what you're doing. We thank you for how you're changing lives. It's in Jesus' name we pray. Amen. Wow.
Man, what an amazing message Pastor Eric brought today. I'm so glad you're here to join us. And look, here's my prayer. My prayer is you didn't just come and get a great message or something to walk away into your brand new week with. My hope is that you made a connection. My hope is that either you connected with the host, or you connected through us with us through live prayer, or you filled out a connect card. Guys, community is what it's all about online, and we are just grateful that you're a part of it. Thank you so much again for joining us. What an amazing message Pastor Eric brought today. I'm so glad you're here to join us. And look, here's my prayer. My prayer is you didn't just come and get a great message with something to walk away into your brand new week with. My hope is that you made a connection. My hope is that either you connected with a host, or you connected through us with us through live prayer, or you filled out a Connect card. Guys, community is what it's all about online, and we are just grateful that you're a part of it. Thank you so much again for joining us. We hope you have a great rest of your Sunday and a fantastic week.